This is The Scoop for Tuesday.
I'm Sean Canan with the WMNF News headlines. Governor Ron DeSantis signaled yesterday that he will again push lawmakers to allow people to openly carry guns in Florida. DeSantis said during an appearance in Plant City, "We should be an open carry state." He marked the start of a sales tax holiday that will provide sales tax exemptions on guns, ammunition, and fishing and camping equipment through the end of the year. The proposal has not been approved during past legislative sessions. For example, Senate President Ben Albritton has pointed to opposition expressed by law enforcement officers. Floridians can carry concealed weapons in most places. A constitutional challenge to the ban on openly carrying guns is pending in federal court in St. Lucie County. State Representative Mike Redondo will serve as chair of a select committee that will look at redrawing Florida's congressional districts. He's a Miami Republican who's in line to become House Speaker in 2030. Yesterday, House Speaker Daniel Perez released committee assignments for the coming year, including for the recently created Select Committee on Congressional Redistricting. In addition to Redondo, the committee has 7 Republicans and 3 Democrats. Redistricting typically happens once a decade after the U.S. Census, but President Trump has pushed for mid-decade redistricting to try to tilt the scales for Republicans to regain control of the U.S. House. Governor Ron DeSantis has also repeatedly raised the idea of redrawing congressional districts. The last round of redistricting happened in 2022. Texas has already moved forward with drawing more Republican-leaning districts. The 2026 regular legislative session will begin in January. The first of 6 pre-session committee weeks will start October 6th. A federal judge in Miami has overturned verdicts amounting to almost $120 million against Expedia and 3 other U.S. online travel firms. This comes after Expedia, Orbitz, and 2 Hotels.com entities were accused of trafficking confiscated property in Cuba. They were found liable earlier this year for violating the Cuban embargo. The suit accuses the companies of booking hotel stays on Cuban land the communist revolution had seized from a family there in the 1960s. But the judge has now ruled that the jury was mistaken. The judge said the companies ceased the bookings once notified they were in violations in accordance with the law. Former Cuban property owners have been allowed to sue companies in the U.S. since 2019 under a provision of the Helms-Burton law. This was the first such verdict rendered. Yesterday, September 8th, was 988 Day. It's part of a national initiative to raise awareness of the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline during Suicide Prevention Month. WMNF's Chris Young reports that the Crisis Center of Tampa Bay is urging people to reach out even after the federal government ended specialized support for LGBTQ youth.
The Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration ended the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline's LGBTQ+ Youth Specialized Services program this summer. The program provided specialized support to LGBTQ+ young people under age 25. But Clara Reynolds, CEO of the Crisis Center Tampa Bay, says that didn't change the level of support provided for Hillsborough County residents.
We are really hopeful that those individuals in our community who may feel like they've lost something, I hope that they know that everybody at the Crisis Center of Tampa Bay has been specially trained to work with a variety of populations, including LGBTQ+.
She says that the call center braced for an increase in calls and that many of the LGBTQ+ callers seeking support were already transferred to the Crisis Center. The Crisis Center encourages anyone with thoughts of hopelessness or suicide to contact 988 and to check in on struggling loved ones. Chris Young, WMNF News.
New research suggests that a tiny phytoplankton that is an essential part of the marine food web may decline sharply as oceans warm. Prochlorococcus is the smallest and most abundant phytoplankton. A study published yesterday in Nature Microbiology found that it could shrink by half in tropical oceans over the next 75 years if waters exceed 82 degrees Fahrenheit. Besides its crucial role in the marine food web, Prochlorococcus produces about 1/5 of the planet's oxygen. The findings challenge previous assumptions that this phytoplankton would thrive in warmer waters. Researchers warn that the decline could have significant consequences for marine biodiversity and the global climate. Scattered thunderstorms will develop this afternoon. Expect heavy and torrential downpours at times with highs in the mid-80s. Scattered thunderstorms early tonight with overnight lows in the mid-70s. Scattered thunderstorms developing later tomorrow with highs in the mid-80s. I'm Sean Canan with the WMNF News headlines.
This is The Scoop, recorded at WMNF Tampa.